Hello everyone, and welcome. Thank you to being there. So today we are going to talk about GDPR and how Odoo is compliant with GDPR. I will show you this QR code. If you have some question, don't hesitate to ask. So, as a European company, you already heard about GDPR. So, to be honest, to keep it simple, GDPR is about protecting personal data. It gives person strong rights and enforces company to be clear, transparent and compliant. My name is Nicolas Merzin. I'm a project manager and also trainer for Oneo Conseil. We've been Odoo partner over 20 years, and today my goal is to give you the keys to approach GDPR with confidence, and I will show you how Odoo is a great tool to set up easy processes with the standard modules. And one of the first points when you're speaking about GDPR is protecting the data. And of course, the first security is your password. So, you have to know in Odoo, all users have to set up their own passwords, and this data is encrypted in the database. So not even an admin can see it. There's many ways for a user to have access to the possibility to reset. So they can reset here. It's really easy, or even on the profile, you can change your password if you think it's compromised. I will show you. Sorry. Okay. You also have some possibilities, for example, on my profile here. It's really easy to change it at any time. So, as an administrator, it's also possible to send a reset instruction, but of course, I can never see the passwords of my colleagues, and it's not useful, in fact. But with Odoo, you can go further into security. It's really easy to activate the two-factor security. Two-FA in Odoo is already compatible with a lot of solutions, Google Authenticators, Microsoft, Auntie, or even open source solutions. To do this, you just have to go on the user profiles, for example here, and I have to activate this option, two-factor authentication. Here, you just have to click, put your passwords, and then with my app, I have to scan this QR and put the numbers I can show, and that's it. 2FA is very useful to protect, of course, to improve the security for an authorized person to access the user account, of course. One more tip: if you want to put it affordable for every user, there's a small module you have to install on Odoo. It's called 2FA, just here, and just put on your database 2FA by mail. With it, it's gonna be, you will have a new settings. I don't remember with it. Factors. Yeah, you can enforce to apply the two-factor authentication only for the employees or for all users, for example. With it, every time someone will try to connect on the database, some numbers will send by email, you will have to put it, and that's it. All your data will be protected with this solution. I suggest you to use, of course, 8 characters minimum for your password. For the moment, regarding the security studies, it will take around 164 years to be brute forces. So it's really important to have, of course, a strong policy of passwords on your company. But RGPD is not only about passwords, of course, but you have to guarantee the users will have only access to the data they need for work. You have to minimize the access to the data. So in Odoo, to start and to do this, we'll use the groups and roles for the users. I will show you. Users, okay. This guy. For every users, for every application, you also have different levels of rules, and you have to adapt it regarding the job of the person. But you can, so for example, if here I have the rules of administrator for my employees, are we able to access the personal data, for example, the private address, and for normal profile, the address of my manager won't be available. It's access denied. You see, I don't have this info. Oh, no, it's not the good thing. Doesn't matter. Okay, so you can also go further if you need, because in Odoo we've got a really advanced settings for users and groups. You can access it very easily in developer mode. You've got the groups here. So regarding your policy and your company, it's really easy to create custom groups and rules of access with Odoo. But of course, you have to be careful, because you can have lots of side effects regarding the implementation of this new group. So be careful, and I suggest you to work with an Odoo partner to put it in place and to create the rules on your Odoo. One more great tool for restricting the access of information is Odoo Studio. Yes, because I will show you a small example. For my company, we have decided to create a new field with the financial health of my partners. But of course, I don't want this field to be seen by everybody. So, in 3 clicks with Studio, I can restrict the access to this information. Just one here. I click on my new fields, and then I just have to select the group I want them to see it. And that's all. It's really easy to put in place, and one more time to restrict the access of information in Odoo. If I see for a user, you see here, he has access, he's not on the group. It's happened. Okay. Some tips for you. Of course, I suggest you on the offboarding of your employees, think about archiving the user's profile as soon as they leave the companies. It will block automatically the access of their data, of course. That's the first thing. And one of the most sensitive points with your data is the right of export. You have to keep under control the export rights if you don't want someone steal your data. And how you can do it, it's quite hidden, in fact, in Odoo, so you have to be very careful. You can go here on the user's profiles. You have to be here on developer mode. And here you have this field, access to export features. So I suggest you on the default profile, you have a default profile on the settings. We'll see it. Maybe, I don't know why, we don't waste time here. There's a default, here, default access right. Switch off this option and keep export rights under control. That's really important. Okay, so here we talk about internal processes, but of course GDRP is not only about the internal process, it also gives rights to our customers. Yes. And with it there's two sides. The first side is your job, you have to explain what data you are collecting, how you use it, and you have to write it on the document called the record of the process activity, the ROPA. And this job is entirely your responsibility outside Odoo. But there's also if you need some help, there are some free resources. For example, in France, the CNIL gives you some samples if you want to create your ROPA, or don't hesitate to ask the services of a GDPR consultants. There's lots of companies specialized about it. But then, on the other hand, you have to put all tools if a customer wants to ask what information are collected about their profile, if you want to ask you for deletions or something like this. And this is precisely where Odoo will help you. So, for the first tool, I suggest you to install here the help desk. Why? Because with the help desk, I will be able to create a GDPR workflow, and I will ensure all requests will be correctly treated in times. That's the first point. You can also use the website, and you can, if you're creating your website with Odoo, it's really easy because they are suggesting you to create a privacy policy section. You will find it just below. And here you can explain what data you are collecting, why you are using. One more time, you will be transparent. And moreover, you can insert very easily a form here. You see? And this form will submit and create directly a request in my GDPR team. Okay? One more time, I created some topics here with Studio, and you can very easily send it. Oops. And of course, in the back office, you will find your information. The other point, of course, if someone is asking which data are used on Odoo with their profile, it's really easy to access it, because if you see here on contacts, there is an option. For example, where I want to see the data is about I don't know, Abigail. I've got an action, and here I can see the Okay, so here it is, the private lookup. When you're activating this action, you will generate a request in Odoo, and you will see where this name has been used. Here I see Michel. I see the name of Michel in blogs, in the employees, on message, and so on. So you can, of course, if you need it regarding a customer, for example, it's really easy to export those sheets and to give him the possibilities to see where the data are used. And moreover, for example, for blogs or message, if they're asking the deletion, you can very, very quickly delete all the information. Not for the billing, for example, billing you should have to keep it, but for all the small data, it's really, really easy to delete or archive it. And the last point, of course, if you have a major security breach, GDPR asks you to inform quickly all the users concerned. For this, one more time, Odoo has a lot of solutions, because you have the possibilities with the action in contact to send, for example, SMS or mass mailing to prevent all the security breach, and one more time to inform your users. Okay? So, with Odoo, in few time, I put a real security policy about accessing the data. I limit the access of the information. I can control who is accessing the data or not, and I can also very easily handle the customer request with the standard module. One more time, it's really easy to put in place. But you have to be careful because all this processes is a long-term policy you have to put in place in your company. During time, your ROPA, the register, will evolve, and in time you have to ensure every point written in this ROPA is applied on Odoo, of course. One small tip, once again, if you want, it's also possible to manage the ROPA, the files, directly in Odoo. For example, with the documents, I can create a special folders and access very easily the register and all the information here in Odoo. I have the possibilities to share it very quickly with a customer or with employee and so on. Pretty easy. So, over time, you will really need to ensure this work has been done, and that's why we suggest you to work one more time with an Odoo partner, because they know the product, they know how it works, and they will help you to create all the rules you need to apply your ROPA. So it's a very long-term relation you have to create, and with it, of course, for example, on our conseil, we can handle you, but there's some special trainings to how you can apply GDPR in Odoo, etc. And I hope with all this information, I show you with very small workflow how Odoo could be a right tool to put in place the first part of a GDPR policy. And that's the most important, because if you are doing these processes, you will have the basics which are required by the authority. And it's going to be very, very easier for you to the rest. And moreover, if you are transparent and you can easily communicate with your customers, you will create a long-term relationship based on trust. And of course, all has been made thanks with Odoo and the standard modules. So that's why I hope you see why for us Odoo is a great tool as is GDPR compliant. Thank you. So it was quick, but maybe you have some question and you want to go further.
Yeah, so there is some question.
Yep.
The first one is, do Odoo generate specific GDPR report natively?
Not for the moment. The GDPR report are not handled in the standard application.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you involve employee in the protection of personal data? It's a large question.
Yes. How do you involve? As I show you, the first thing is I give you the most important keys. A strong password policy. The 2FA for me, the 2FA authentication is really important. You can also define profile for each workers and to restrict the access of the data. If you are doing this, you are in a good condition to handle a strong policy about restricting access.
Okay. And here, what is a ROPA?
Okay. The ROPA is the register of the personal information. How does it work? You have every time to describe what data you are collecting, why you are collecting this information, how long will you keep it, and what actions and what plans you have improved to delete, for example, this data after times and so on. So the ROPA is a standard document. It's the same structure for every country in Europe.
Okay. Can you use passkey, so physical device, as a second factor for authentication with Odoo?
Yes, maybe, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I never tried this.
And finally, what is the content of your training, I guess, since you're a trainer?
Yeah, yeah. So for the training, we are also giving context, and we are coding what is necessary for a company and so on. And when we have defined the legal rules, we are looking at the ROPA of our customers and define and work with him how he can handle this point in Odoo with the standard application and all the parameters.
Okay.
The goal for this training is to give, in general, for the DSI, for example, all the tools to apply and to be confident with all the rules they've written on the ROPA.
Okay. I think that's it. So.
Okay, thank you a lot.